I had a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine last night. And I'm going to share this with the intention also of letting everybody know that some of what I'm saying is inspired by my conversation with her. And we find that we have many similar chapters in our lives. Our paths are quite similar, almost parallel, and more than we even had imagined after our conversation and during our conversation last night. And shortly before I came to Florida, I was on a healing journey. I didn't know where I was going to end up. I changed my name. That name change for me was important, not to do dishonor my parents who gave me that name, but because I was changing my life. I was becoming more in remembrance of who I am and my purpose. And I was no longer that person. Rebecca was the fearful, quiet, hurting, abused, emotionally abandoned child. Adena is remembering more to stand in her power, is remembering more of her magic. She's the healer. She's the medium. She's the intuitive. She's the artist. Not to say that Rebecca was not the artist or that she was not intuitive, because she was. And I always thought Adena is the strong one. She's the one that's no longer going to take crap from anybody. She's the one that is going to every day find moments where she remembers who she is and evolves. And so we were talking about abundance and receiving blessings and how oftentimes we will block our blessings or it will slow them down, right? And so I've been asking, it's like, okay, universe, every blessing, every bit of abundance, every blessing that I intentionally or unintentionally blocked in the past, let it flow now. Let it flow now. The magnet for that is our heart, as the heart space is the magnet for receiving that, as well as knowing who we are and knowing that we are worthy of that. However, if we have not healed the other aspect of ourselves, that can be a block, or it can also make it a little more challenging for that to come to us. And this hit me hard because I always, I tell people I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that person anymore. That person was weak. That person made choices that were part of the journey, part of the path, part of the healing, part of remembrance, but painful choices. And yet what I did when I changed my name is I discarded Rebecca like a dirty rag into the corner, and I left her sitting there. I didn't want to look at her. I didn't want to think about her. I did not want her to be a part of me moving forward. Because there's guilt, shame, anxiety, despair, sorrow, abuse, abandonment, so much pain for Rebecca. And yet my mistaken assumption was that Rebecca was not the strong one. But Rebecca is the one who survived. Rebecca is the one who, even on her darkest days, when she didn't want to be on the planet, she still took that next breath. And that references back to another video that I did about breathing, about taking one more breath. Rebecca is the one who strived to survive, even when she felt like she didn't want to. Rebecca is the one who never gave up. Rebecca is the one who moved forward. Fell back a lot of times. One step forward, 2 steps back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And so I had a come to Rebecca moment last night. And I realized that part of me, because she is me. Adena is Rebecca. Rebecca is Adena. That in throwing her away and disregarding her, I was not allowing her to do her full healing. Oh, she did a lot of healing. But Adena needed to reconcile and heal for Rebecca and with Rebecca. And so last night, what I did late at night was I wrote a letter to Rebecca. And I did a meditation, and I did some things. And I integrated Rebecca into Adena. I integrated Adena into Rebecca. And the image that I used was I picked up Rebecca. I picked up a 5-year-old Rebecca. I picked up a 40-year-old Rebecca, 50-year-old Rebecca. And I held her until I could feel Rebecca's hurting heart integrating with Adena's healing heart. There never has been separation. As much as I wanted it, as much as I envisioned it, pictured it, there was never that separation. There was Rebecca sitting inside of me, curled up in a ball, thrown away, wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, wanting to be healed. I had to come to terms with the fact that discarding Rebecca and tossing her in the corner and ignoring her and stomping on her was not even close to the self-love that I wanted to give myself, that Adena needed. So in order for Adena to practice self-love, Adena also has to love Rebecca. And that's a hard thing to do. I talk about self-love. I tell my clients, and everybody I speak with, like, self-love, it's so important. Your biggest act of self-love is this. Your biggest act of self-love is to breathe. Your biggest act of self-love is to do what feeds your soul. Adena's biggest act of self-love is to love Rebecca. To understand that Rebecca's right here. And always has been. Adena's biggest act of self-love is to love Rebecca more than she's loved her before. And it goes beyond taking the next breath or beyond a meditation. It's looking at Rebecca, looking at her soul, looking at her eyes, recognizing that Rebecca is the epitome of courage and tenacity. And I'm more apt to help other people as help myself. I am an overgiver. I will ignore myself. I'll put other people first. Sometimes I put Adena by the wayside. And I have to remember that not only is Rebecca worthy of the greatest acts of self-love, so is Adena. But to fully love myself, I had to integrate Rebecca. Even lately, someone calling me by my legal name, Rebecca, I would get a stomachache. I would feel physical pain in my body. Physical pain if you use that name, if I heard that name. Sometimes I have to use it for my legal stuff, for my banking and all this other stuff, because I have not changed my name legally yet. I will. But it's probably a good thing that it didn't happen yet, because I have to integrate that first, right? So if there are parts of you that you are not loving, it's time to love them, because they are you. And I'm very grateful to Ishi for this beautiful insight and inspiring me to speak about this, and inspiring me to ask for forgiveness, ask Rebecca for forgiveness. Because divided, Rebecca and Adena divided was not a stable foundation. Rebecca and Adena integrated, look out world. Love every part of you, even the ones that caused you pain. Love that courageous part of you that survived. Love that part of you who you thought was the weak one, or the not so smart one. Because that was you. It's all you, everything. So now, when you act in self-love, remember to include the other you, the parts of you that you have discarded. Cater to that one first. From here on out, Rebecca gets her treat first. Whether it's an ice cream, a drive, a walk, a day at the park. It could be a massage, it could be whatever. Do that. Feed those unhealed parts. Fill them up. Fill them up with love. You are worth it. The parts that you have discarded about yourself are worth it. Thank yourself for the courage you have shown to survive some of the horrific things you may have gone through. The traumas, the pain, the fear, the mistakes, which aren't really mistakes, just opportunities to grow and learn. But, we call them mistakes. Know that I see you, I love you. I appreciate you. I honor your journey. Now honor yourself.